This is the WWE NXT September 23, 2025 full show results video. The show started with a lights-out match between Lexis King vs Myles Borne. In a brutal, darkened arena brawl lit only by floor lights, Lexis King and Myles Borne unleashed chaos with chairs, belts, and steel steps. The fight spilled inside and outside the ring, with Bourne whipping King repeatedly and even launching him through the barricade. King fought back with a superkick and a near-Pillmanizing attack, but Bourne countered with sheer resilience. After a DDT into the steel steps, Bourne set up the decisive moment, rushing up the stairs and driving King through a table. Myles Borne secured the hard-fought victory by pinfall, standing tall after a violent, high-stakes clash. Stevie Turner and Robbie Stone speak with Ava Raine over the phone from her office. Ava, calling from England, entrusts them to handle matters. When asked about TNA wrestlers backstage, her bad signal cuts off, leaving responsibility in their hands. All Ego Ethan Page is walking backstage and runs into Myles Borne, who gives him a little nod, and we see Mance Warner and Steph DeLander walking in the background. Back from the commercial, El Hijo del Dr Wagner, Jr. is shown in the crowd. All Ego Ethan Page makes his entrance and gets on the mic, but the audio keeps cutting out for some reason. Once he comes over clear, he says he wanted to talk about beating that fake Canadian Tyler Breeze last week, but we have a special guest, AAA Latin American champion, El Hijo del Dr Wagner, Jr., and he should be a two-belt champion if Wagner hadn't screwed him out of the AAA title. He personally invites him to No Mercy so he can watch him embarrass Tavian Heights. Io stands up, and All Ego invites him into the ring for a fight right now and calls for a referee. Then we saw a match between All Ego Ethan Page vs El Hijo del Dr Wagner, Jr., and the result of this match was El Hijo del Dr Wagner, Jr. defeated Ethan Page by submission with an ankle lock immediately. Post-match, Wagner takes his mask off, and he was Tavian Heights this entire time. In earlier today footage, Ariana Grace boasts about her Maybelline mascara in the locker room. Jordynne Grace exchanges words with her, leading to tension. Jordynne challenges Ariana to settle it in the ring later tonight. Then we saw a WWE Speed Women's Championship No. 1 Contenders Tournament Finals match between Candice LeRae vs Lainey Reid. Candice LeRae started strong against Lainey Reid, hitting fast offense and a facebuster on the apron, followed by a springboard crossbody to the floor. Back inside, the two battled with counters, near falls, and submission attempts. In the final minute, momentum shifted as Reid evaded a knee strike and connected with a huge knee lift. Lainey Reid scored the pinfall, earning herself the No. 1 contender spot for the WWE Speed Women's Championship. Then we get a Jada Parker promo where she calls out Lash Legend. Backstage, Lyra Valkyria tells Tatum Paxley she appreciates her loyalty, which Paxley takes as Lyra needing her in her life. Izzy Dame interrupts, reminding Lyra of their rocky past and pulling her aside. Meanwhile, sharp-eyed fans spotted TNA talent casually walking through the background, fueling speculation. Back from commercial, Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors apologize to Andre Chase for last week's mishap. Andre reassures them and introduces special guests, two NASCAR drivers. When one jokes about saying someone's name to make them appear, Darkstate interrupts. Suddenly, Joe Hendry reveals himself as the disguised racing driver. Saquon Sugars warns Hendry to be careful, and Darkstate escalates matters by promising a chaotic six-man tag team match later tonight. Then we saw a match between Ariana Grace vs Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace and Ariana Grace battled in a competitive clash. Momentum shifted back when Jordynne countered in the corner, unleashing lariats, a spinebuster, and brutal power offense. She sealed the win emphatically, defeating Ariana by pinfall with a devastating spin-out Argentine powerbomb, showcasing her dominance. Post-match, Channing Stacks Lorenzo appears to take Ariana Grace to safety. Blake Monroe storms in with a pink trash can of weapons, ambushing Jordynne Grace with a kendo stick. Grace fires back with punches before referees and security intervene. Stevie Turner and Robert Stone step out, announcing a weapons match at No Mercy upgraded to a steel cage. Fired up, Monroe and Grace resume their chaotic brawl as the segment ends. Backstage, Lainey Reid shares her excitement about earning a title match, confidently declaring she plans to leave as champion. As she delivers a bit of Southern charm, Fatal Influence walks by. Jacy Jayne wishes her luck but assures her companion she can handle Reid on her own, setting the stage for the upcoming clash. Back from commercial, Jacy Jayne grabs the mic, confidently reminding everyone that she's been NXT Women's Champion for over 100 days and has shattered every label ever put on her: third wheel, transitional champion, or most beatable. She dismisses Lola Vice as a flashy, crossover act with Instagram fame but lacking the experience or grit to claim the title. Jacy acknowledges Lola's improvement but insists she's not ready to dethrone her. Lola Vice enters, full of determination, reflecting on her growth over the past year. From a nervous, emotional rookie before her match with Roxanne Perez, she's now a confident, professional WWE superstar fighting not only for herself but for her family, her culture, and her fans. She vows to make her supporters proud and defeat Jacy, whatever the cost. The confrontation explodes when Lola spins Jacy with a devastating backfist and briefly holds the title up, signaling that the upcoming championship clash will be intense, personal, and unpredictable, leaving fans on the edge of their seats. Then we saw a match between U Joe Hendry versus Darkstate. The match kicked off with Saquon Sugars and Uriah Connors exchanging quick tags and hard-hitting offense. Kale Dixon and Connors traded submissions and high-impact moves, with the babyfaces gaining momentum, including a lariat and armbar exchanges. Joe Hendry tagged in, showcasing chops, front chancery, and big slams, keeping Darkstate on their heels. Chaos erupted as Darkstate ran in multiple times, breaking the match down and forcing the action to spill outside, with high-flying maneuvers, barricade throws, and precision strikes. Andre Chase and his team rallied, countering Darkstate's attacks with super kicks, gammon gyros, and tornado DDTs, keeping the crowd on edge. Ultimately, Darkstate regained control, executing a devastating tossing-assisted powerbomb on Uriah Connors to secure the pinfall victory in a chaotic, high-energy contest. J. Von Evans is interviewed backstage, and he says he's gonna beat Josh Briggs, who's still talking like he knows him. A clattering sound interrupts, but Evans continues, saying he's gonna jump around him, punch him in the mouth, and show that he's bouncy. A medic calls out, and we see Jazmyn Nyx laid out. Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne arrive, and Jacy shrugs it off and says it was time to drop her anyway. In the main event of the show, we saw a title versus title match between Femi versus Trick Williams, and the winner will take both the TNA and NXT championship. The match erupted with Williams and Femi exchanging chops, kicks, and power moves, while Trick floated in and out of the action. Chaos spilled outside as Femi threw Williams to the floor and Mike Santana jumped the barricade, adding to the mayhem. High-impact maneuvers, counters, and near falls kept the crowd on edge, with appearances from WWE legends in the audience. After brutal exchanges, including a chokeslam and Hurricane Rana, the match ended in a disqualification victory for Femi due to outside interference, leaving the action wild and unresolved. The TNA wrestlers present rush the ring, and the NXT locker room opens up to answer them. While brawling, Ricky Saints walks through calm, cool, and collected and grabs the NXT championship, but Oba pulls himself up next to him and takes it away and holds it high, and the show goes off the air. How would you rate this week's NXT show? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching.